from the Morongo Casino Studios, it's Frosty, Heidi, and Frank on 95.5 KLOS and KLOS HD1.
Los Angeles.
Frosty, Heidi, and Frank show, Monday. What is the 17th?
Yes, it is.
Your taxes are due tomorrow because the 15th fell on the weekend, so you got to get your taxes done. I'm leaving here right away to go do them.
Gonna rob a bank on the way home?
And waiting to the last minute. Christian?
Yes.
You're still a citizen of the UK, right? So you have to pay taxes?
I do have to pay taxes here.
Oh, you're a double citizen?
No, I'm a citizen of the UK and I have a lifelong green card.
How do you get a lifelong green card?
If you did it in the 80s before stuff blew up, they were like, cool, stay forever. And then they blew stuff up and went, change that law.
But your grandfather did.
Grandfathered in forever.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pay there, it's just here, right? You don't get dinged from both
America
places?
is the only country in the planet that if you work outside of it, you have to pay taxes in both countries.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, my parents moved to New Zealand, and it was like I think they were suffering like 75% taxing because they were getting taxed on both sides of the
At some point,
business.
just stay home and sleep because you work all year and
It's
nothing
miserable. Yeah.
Christian Hand is with us. He takes rock songs and splits them into their individual elements, track by track, vocal by vocal, instrument by instrument. He does it on Sunday nights as well. It's the Sessions with Christian James Hand.
Oh.
And you are here.
I am, sir. And today we're going to do what we did last night, which was to take a meander through this, which is one of the greatest coups in the history of... Wow, did you really think of that idea, Sting? Because he is a genius. Because they called him in and said, hey, you want to sing on this? And he went, yeah, I'll sing on that. It's not a problem. And what he did was he decided to use his own vocal melody to sing... which is Don't Stand So Close to Me. So he then got publishing on the song.
Oh,
So it's
brilliant.
a worldwide smash, and he makes pieces of it every time it plays, every time it gets sold, and it sold 30 million copies. So he just sits and collects the paychecks.
What does that translate to? 30 million copies and you have publishing. And
I mean, it depends on if it's a worldwide
Is there a
smash.
standard?
You're just seeing money forever for nothing, literally.
he has a house on a beach somewhere because of that
because
one
of
line.
this one line that he went. Yeah, okay, cool. So
And back then, there weren't that many videos on MTV. There were like
Nope.
27, which aired over and over and over and over and over and
Yeah,
over.
and the video was actually thought of by the people from MTV. Like the song is, it's proof that aliens run everything, and that this is all just a big narrative being dreamed up by them. Because the whole song was written prior to the concept of the video, prior to MTV making it a hit, prior to Mark Knopfler singing about basically himself on television because he mocks the people that he then became because it's a whole thing. Just smoke weed and listen to the song. It'll help you. So the intro, of course, features one of the greatest bombastic drummy things of all time. Now, you think that sounds pretty complicated. Well, what's really shocking about this song is that that's actually the original drummer from Dire Straits, whose name is Terry Williams, who's then doesn't get to play on the rest of the song.
You're
'Cause
kidding.
the rest of the song is Omar Hakim playing on it, who's one of the greatest jazz drummers in the world, who just decided to phone this in for a paycheck.
Why didn't they have the second guy just redo the first part? Brilliant as it was.
These are questions that we can't answer.
Maybe the first guy was screwing up so much. That's what that first part
They're
is.
like,
He's like,
yeah.
I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah,
and
he's
I
trying to
can't-
do a steady
I
beat.
can't
Can't quite do
song.
it. Yeah. So this is it. Omar Hakim, one of the greatest jazz drummers in the world, doing this because Terry Williams couldn't.
Yeah. Kind of a waste of the best jazz drummer in the
it
world,
might have
right?
been. Well, he does this. So
Oh,
there you
okay,
go. You know what I'm
all
saying?
right,
Like
all
that's
right.
money well spent
That was
right
good,
there. You know?
that was
I
good.
mean, it's a little bit of the old. All right.
That's jazzy.
Yeah, yeah. And then the toms are played by Terry. So it's
Yeah.
it's a whole thing. So the bass line is played by the original bassist John Isley, and he does a beautiful job of just giving it the bottom, as they say.
What's that rattle?
That's fret rattle.
They let that in.
Yeah. You would have thought they wouldn't, but you know what? They didn't care. Because you go... You can't hear it.
Hear it now.
No. It's nicely 80s. It's got a bit of the old... little chorusy action. And this is it. He does this, and then he goes to the chorus. Because you know what? They recorded in the Bahamas, so you want to get out to the beach real quick. Here we go. And there you have it. They just do this for the entire song.
You know, there's sometimes you come in here and you'll play like just the drums and the bass together, and it sounds awesome just together by itself. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and then you add the other tracks, like, oh, that's the song. But both of them together sound great. These two sound kind of lame together until you add the rest of the song. It's like the opposite.
Because the thing you got to remember is that you got Knopfler Knopfler on guitar, who's one of the
Right.
greatest guitar players in the universe. So you better leave some room for the boss. Plus, he wrote this song entirely on his own, and so the lyrics are actually he was in a store in New York at Crazy Eddie or something back in the day, and he was standing in front of all the TVs, and there was like a New York dude standing there actually saying all the lyrics from the song, and Mark got a pen and just sat and scribed them all down. So it's actually the stuff that a dude said.
You know, there's one bad word in there. F
There
word,
is.
that radios. I worked at a radio station, wouldn't play the song.
Well, in Canada now they sued, so it's now the station's option to play whichever version you want. Yeah. So the intro to the song is gorgeous.
Wait,
It's
what
got-
version do we have?
We have the nice version.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. So we got this, which is a bloke by the name of Guy Fletcher.
Is it synth or guitar?
Oh, this is synths for days. It's the sound of an incontinent computer.
Dial up. Funky dial.
Yes, and then
Now that's like dead center mono, not even stereo.
and then on the other side, yes.
What is that?
That is it's probably like a Juno or something, isn't it? Doing a little bell sound, little wind pipes. But that's not
Ow!
it. We're not done yet. Hold on. There's
Was he
this.
playing at the same time or no?
No. This
I was
is
like,
all.
one's
This is all
right hand, one's left
multi-tracked.
hand.
No,
Okay,
this is all multi-tracked. And then you have this, of course, with Gordon making a fortune. Genius. And then you add the other bits. You get the bottom. And then you do this.
I love those strings.
Then you add the toms. And then you have one of the greatest guitar riffs in the history of music. In fact, it was voted Rolling Stone's 94th greatest guitar riff of all time, which is, of course... Now, this is Mark Knopfler admits that at the time he was trying to get ZZ Top's guitar tone perfectly. And Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top said he pretty much nailed it, considering he never spoke to them about how they did it. And what's really cool about it is that they did track this in a studio in the Bahamas, and when they went to England to re-record the guitar part, they couldn't get the guitar tone correct. And the reason was because, unbeknownst to them, they'd mic'd it up with 3 microphones, and one was hitting the floor, the other one was aimed at the ceiling, because they'd moved by accident, and only one was on the speaker. So it's all 3 of these weird things created this tone they could never duplicate. So this is the original, because they couldn't get the other one. And if you listen to it, you're like, why would you... This guitar track is incredible. Some deep blues.
Is he playing 2 different parts here?
Yeah, it's bouncing backwards and forwards, one on either side. This side does one thing. And the other side is.
I'm surprised they left that harmonic in there. It's not
They
even
were
there.
going to retrack it, but they couldn't because of the microphone placement, if you were listening earlier.
Yeah. Sorry, I drifted off. The smoke got to me.
Pearls before the swine. So now you realize why you gotta have all this simple business, because it's real, like, Delta blues. It's really kind of it's shocking when you hear it on song. You're like, wow, it's like a John Lee Hooker song. Nikki Sixx of Motley Crue claims that the song's about him and his band.
Yeah.
Mark Knopfler says it isn't, but they were all over MTV at that time, and there's the bad word that they used to describe,
Yeah.
And then there's the whole thing, and you'd think, yeah, it's quite possible that it could have been about these guys who did Money for Nothing, got their chicks for free. All right, so the problem with the vocal is it was impossible to get the vocal and the keyboards out, but you can kind of hear what's really cool is another keyboard player named Alan Clark, who's more of the Rhodes piano kind of guy. So you hear Guy Fletcher doing these really cool, like, things in between, and then Alan, and then one of the greatest vocal performances, because Mark Knopfler, who's a very proper English bloke, does the entire thing in character as a New Yorker from a Crazy Eddie's.
Look at them yo-yos, that's the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. That ain't working, that's the way you do it. Your money for nothing and your chicks for free. Now that ain't working, that's the way you do it. Let me tell you, damn guys ain't dumb. You maybe get a blister on your little finger. Maybe get a blister on your thumb. We got to install microwave ovens, custom kitchen deliveries. We got to move these refrigerators. We got to move these color TVs. Move on, move on. Install microwave ovens, custom kitchen delivery. We've got to move these refrigerators. We've got to move these color TVs. Look at here, look at. I should have learned to play the guitar. I should have learned to play them drums. Look at that mama, she got it sticking in the cameraman. We could have some.
I mean, it's so good, right? Like, he doesn't even it doesn't complete fun. He just says,
I should have learned to play them drums. Look at that mama, she got it sticking in the cameraman. We could have some. And he's up there. What's that? Hawaiian noises.
So, like, the guy in the TV store in New York was actually said all this stuff about the Hawaiian noises and the banging on the bongos and the
and he's up there. What's that? Hawaiian noises. He's banging on the bongos like a chimpanzee. Oh, that ain't working. That's the way you do it.
This laugh when he does this, it's just
He's like, did I just say that?
Nobody does this. Like, nobody performs. Like, when was the last time Rihanna performed a vocal like this? She's never done it.
He's banging on the bongos like a chimpanzee. Oh, that ain't working. That's the way you do it.
That ain't working.
Get your money for nothing. Get your chicks for free now. We got to install microwave oven,
Beautiful chorus.
custom kitchen deliveries. We got to move these refrigerators. We got to move these color TVs.
Sting with a little wolf impersonation.
I don't remember that.
It's back there.
Listen here. Now, that ain't working. That's the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. Your money for nothing and your chicks for free. Money for nothing. And the chicks for free. You get your money for nothing.
And here comes the greatest payday
Chicks for free.
ever.
Look at that, look at that. Get your money for nothing. And the chicks for free.
Now, I just want to know if they were like standing in the studio and they didn't know he was going to do that. And they're all behind the mixing desk looking through the window like, you smart bastard. How did you? If only we'd said no.
Look at that, look at that.
Get your money for nothing. And the chicks for free. Get your money for nothing.
Talk about money for nothing.
And the chicks for free.
Easy, easy money. Easy, easy chicks for free. Easy, easy money.
Chicks for free.
That ain't working.
I mean, did you guys own this CD? Did
Oh,
you have
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
This was like the first CD to go platinum. Of the first compact disc ever to sell 1 million copies. Everybody
Is that a
had
very
it.
tiny cowbell they have?
It's a very
It
tiny
sounds like
cowbell.
a very tiny cowbell.
It's a very small digital cowbell. I don't even think that's a real cowbell.
okay.
I think it's a
It's like the tiniest cowbell I've ever heard.
very small.
Like a metronome click.
They didn't know he was going to sell so many records, so they can only get the tiny cowbell. This is the bloody cowbell we got. It's
This is
very
it.
small.
Well, we gotta play this thing.
I mean, it's such a simple song.
And timed perfectly with the launch of MTV. I mean,
Oh
it's-
yeah, I mean, well, so the video was MTV proposed the video. Mark Knopfler didn't want to do it. The director who did a bunch of he did the Take on Me video from Aha.
Was that the sketched?
The drawn one.
Yeah.
So he flew to wherever Mark Knopfler was on vacation and was like, you have to do this video. And Knopfler was like, wait, if we do this computer animation video, I don't have to be in it very much. And the guy was like, no. And he was like, well, that's bloody perfect. And then his girlfriend said, yeah, you should do it. So then they did the video. But it's just the idea of like making a song about MTV and the vacuous nature of the whole thing and the video thing. And then making a video that's the most played video on MTV of that year that wins 1 trillion awards. It's a little bit too I smoked some weed and thought about it way too much before I came on the air kind of thing, if you know what I'm saying.
It's been a while since I've seen the video because it was very archaic computer.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's like 8-bit.
has it
Everyone's like-
aged well?
Right.
Yeah, well,
Was
it kind of has because we've come around again on it again. So now it's like, it's Los Feliz cool all of a sudden, you know? Everyone's doing it.
You remember the guy at the 5 o'clock shadow, the cigar?
Yeah, the
stand?
old
He was
guy.
big
Like
square
robot,
guy
yeah.
carrying a television set. I
Yeah,
think
and
it
then there was like his little cohort and then a dog,
The
that they
dog.
had as well. Yeah,
Just
it was a
line
whole-
drawings, though, essentially, though.
It was a whole thing. I mean, it did change a lot. And, Mark Knopfler's got a bunch of bloody cash from it. God bless him, as did Sting. So if you haven't heard Brothers in Arms, you should check it out. It's a phenomenal record. It's got Walk of Life and So Far Away From Me also on it. Incredible record. 30 million sold. This band sold 120 million albums worldwide.
Was Sultans a swing after this?
No, it's before that.
Before.
Yeah, there's a bunch of really great records before. Telegraph Road is one of my favorite songs by them. Romeo and Juliet is another incredible song. So check out the Dire Straits canon. Go on whatever device you use to listen to music. And definitely give them some props.
Fascinating.
If you want to go see the session live with Christian James Hand at the
Oh, yeah.
Swing House May 6th, got a pair of tickets right now, so call up right now. First one through 1-800-955-KLOS will be able to go see it live.
Elton
You know
John and the Jackson
Oh, yeah.
5. It's going to be huge. It's going to be a good one. And if you want to catch me on social media, it's Christian James Hand on Facebook, at King Trot on Instagram. And if you go to the session on air, you can get tickets to the May 6th thing. It's almost sold out. So come out, and we're going to be filming it for TV. So everybody gets to be a star.
Heidi's on vacation all week long, and Lisa's leaving tomorrow for Borneo on her scuba diving trip. So have fun. Take a lot of pictures of your
I
craziness
will.
in the jungle in your leech socks.
Don't get
Yes, I
harpooned.
won't. And I'll bring you a pair.
Don't get eaten by the cannibals over there. I think you're going to cannibal areas.
Yes,
Borneo.
they still have them there, yes.
Yeah, they
They
do.
come with a little shrunken head.
Be careful.
The headphones won't fit. They'll fall right off your head.
Be sure and join us again tonight at 9 p.m. for the night shift from 9 to 11, where we hang out and talk about other stuff during the night. Right now, we have to apologize to those of you that we offended during today's show and get the hell out of here.
Well, we apologize to Dire Straits' noisy bassist, Martha Stewart, spring cleaners, and fraudulent taxpayers.
Alaska Airlines, James Taylor, Applebee's, and the last KABC listener.
States of Georgia and Iowa, Antiques Roadshow fans, and sinning newlyweds.
Good tippers, Radiohead, Mike Tyson, and Morongo basement dancers.
Australian swingers, Todd Fisher, Reader's Digest, and rappers.
Pink Floyd, California Kids, Playboy Magazine, and George Quarterman. You really have to listen to the whole show. We are Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.